In Tanzania, many women face great challenges to access basic medical help during childbirth. About 50% of women still deliver at home. Many women and babies die, and many others sustain birth injuries, one of which is a fistula. A fistula results from a long obstructed labour that can last between 3 to 7 days. Almost always a dead baby is born, and a fistula or hole is formed between the bladder and birth canal. She will leak continually. She will remain like this for the rest of her life unless she can get surgical treatment.
There's an enormous need to invest in maternal health in Africa. Part of the social fabric of any society is the mother. It's the mother that really provides and cares for the children. About 300,000 to 400,000 women are dying every year during pregnancy, during delivery, most of those occurring in Africa. If a woman does survive, about 1 in 30 women will get a severe injury, including an obstetric fistula.
So there are many challenges which the women faces in Tanzania. One of the challenges is the availability of hospital resources. In many areas there is no hospital. During the outreaches, we give a lot of talks about what is a fistula, the consequences of fistula. There's days that we are only doing presentation, raising awareness in the community. There's also days where we do door-to-door or where we do follow-up. We have a very good team of the people from the different areas called ambassadors. These are the people from the community who volunteer themselves to help the Maternity Africa find for the fistula cases.
Fistula nimepata mwaka 99 baada ya kupata mimba ya kwanza. Toka hapo nikaja kuzaa watoto wengine bahati mbaya. Huwezi ukaenda kwa watu, unakuwa una hali ngumu, unanuka mikojo. Kwa kweli mimi mwenyewe nakuwa moyoni mwangu yani sijisikii vizuri, nakuwa moyo tu hauna amani ninapokaa. Lakini toka 99 hiyo nimekaa na tatizo hilo mpaka sasa hivi nimekuja huku ndo nimekuja kutibiwa.
There's a much higher proportion of women with fistula in the rural areas. There's between 2 and 3 million women in Africa, it's believed, with obstetric fistula in need of help. It takes a huge leap of faith for them to come and seek treatment. Then they meet a ward or a hospital, depending on where it is, full of other women that this has happened to. And they realise this hasn't happened because of something they did. It hasn't happened because they were a bad person. It's a joy to watch, and then they slowly come out of their shell. They have their surgery and then they have a catheter in for 10 days to 2 weeks. Dr. Browning, our founder, is a fistula surgeon. He travels to different sites throughout Africa.
Maternity Africa seeks to treat and prevent fistula by training midwives, upgrading government hospitals, and building and running maternity hospitals to ensure that women can have access to free delivery services.
You need 2 people because 1 midwife is
The model that we believe in at Maternity Africa is really about grassroots maternity care. So we choose to work in facilities that don't charge women for obstetric services. At Maternity Africa, we're really endeavouring to create an environment where anyone is free to come and birth safely, where they'll find kind, compassionate care. It doesn't help for us just to repair fistula, we need to try and prevent them. So we prevent obstetric fistula by having good maternal care.
Maternity Africa has been placing volunteer teams and midwife tutors at Doreda Hospital for the past 3 years.
My good colleague and friend, the head of the regional referral hospital here, Dr. Masenga, said, which hospitals in this area needs help. The top of the list was Doreda. It's a busy unit, it's got about 3,000 deliveries a year. It has a nursing midwifery school, but it certainly needed some input.
At Maternity Africa, in terms of our fistula prevention program, we are entirely committed to developing clinical skills. And we do that through a little bit of classroom or skill lab teaching, which is very specifically relating to clinical outcomes. And then it's about mentorship. It's about working alongside, being daily on the labour ward.
It is very important to invest in midwifery training because of the lack of the skilled and qualified nurses in Tanzania. So the model of Maternity Africa to invest in midwifery training, it is very important because if we have skilled nurses today, we can reduce consequences of childbirth, which include fistula.
To work for Maternity Africa is one of life's great privileges. You meet completely inspiring people, both patients and volunteers. To invest in the life of a woman is the most important thing you can do. A child under 5 that loses its mother is 10 times less likely to make it to the age of 5. If you look at the developed world, the creation of emergency obstetric care is why we haven't seen obstetric fistula in the West for 100 years. So it's about adapting the education and working within the existing culture to get the best outcome for mums and babies. It's an absolute joy to complete the cycle, to complete the story with a woman that's had so much trauma and so much fistula surgery to come back pregnant.
Rehema was found by Maternity Africa's outreach coordinator, Lucas. She was pregnant with her first child at the age of 20. She went into labour at home. After a 2-day labour, she went to hospital. Her baby had died. She suffered a fistula. She began leaking urine continuously. Her husband left her. Lucas found her on outreach in a small village. Rehema had lived with fistula for 15 years. She was brought to Maternity Africa, and after surgery she was cured. She remarried and fell pregnant. She returned to Maternity Africa for a cesarean section, where she delivered a baby named Lucas.